We had three victims that I've been working with, victims of the Carters, that were ready to come forward. This might help them feel a little more confident now. So this is great. Everything you see about him is an illusion. But what he loves the most is controlling youth.
Fact check me. And Jaguar has more information than I do. So to anybody who discredits her is really doesn't know what's going on, because she has more information than I could even dream of having, because I'm sure, without even speaking to her about this.
What really happened in that 29th floor Manhattan office at 3 o'clock in the morning? For 15 years you were fed a fairy tale. You were told it was just a legendary audition, a young starstruck girl from Barbados singing a cappella, a supportive mentor seeing greatness, and a record deal that changed pop culture forever. But tonight, that fairy tale isn't just falling apart, it is exploding in real time. Whistleblower Jaguar Wright has just stepped forward with an explosive set of claims that threaten to shatter the very foundation of Rock Nation, Def Jam, and the entire Hollywood elite. We are talking about secret midnight lock-ins, missing parental chaperones, terrifying ultimatums involving a 29th floor window, and an alleged system of psychological conditioning that began when Rihanna was barely a teenager. But that is only the beginning. Tonight, we are unlocking leaked industry documents, silent whistleblower testimony, and a sinister pattern that connects Rihanna's infamous 3 a.m. meeting to Aaliyah, Beyoncé, and the ultimate destruction of Chris Brown. Was Rihanna saved by a record label, or was she trapped inside a golden cage she could never escape? Grab your seats, hit that notification bell, and do not look away for a single second, because what Jaguar Wright just exposed will leave you sick to your stomach. Let's dive in. To understand the absolute terror of what Jaguar Wright is exposing tonight, we have to rewind the tape. We have to travel back to the mid-2000s, long before Rihanna was a global billionaire, long before Fenty Beauty, and long before she dominated the Super Bowl stage. Back then, she was just Robin Rihanna Fenty, a 15-year-old girl living in Barbados with big dreams, an extraordinary voice, and zero knowledge of the dark, predatory shark tank that we call the American music industry. The official story, the polished corporate Hollywood narrative that PR firms crafted for millions of fans, was simple. An American producer named Evan Rogers was vacationing in Barbados. He heard Rihanna sing, realized her immense potential, and brought her to the United States to record a demo tape. That demo tape landed on the desk of Jay-Z, who had just been named the CEO and president of Def Jam Recordings. According to the official lore, Jay-Z heard her breakout track, Ponder Replay, flew her out to New York immediately, and was so blown away by her presence that he signed her on the spot. It sounds like a Hollywood dream, right? It sounds like the ultimate Cinderella story. But Jaguar Wright claims that if you look closely at the timeline, the official story isn't just sugar-coated. It's a carefully constructed cover-up designed to hide a terrifying breach of ethics, power, and consent. Let's examine the facts that were hidden in plain sight for over a decade. Rihanna was flown into New York City completely alone. Think about that for a moment. A minor, arriving in a giant metropolis, brought directly to a corporate skyscraper in Midtown Manhattan. No parents in the room. No independent legal counsel sitting at the table. No trusted family representative looking over the fine print. She was a child entering a high-stakes, multi-million-dollar corporate environment populated entirely by powerful adult men. And then came the audition itself. In multiple television interviews over the years, Rihanna laughed off the intensity of that day. She talked about shaking uncontrollably in the lobby. She talked about sitting downstairs for nearly 12 exhausting hours, waiting for executives to finalize paperwork, while her nerves completely wrecked her. But what she described as excitement, Jaguar Wright describes as severe psychological intimidation. Listen to Jay-Z's own words from an archived interview describing that exact night. "We didn't let her leave the office. 3 o'clock in the morning was when that contract got signed." Jay-Z even joked publicly about telling a teenage girl that there were only two ways out of his 29th floor office that night. Either through the door with a signed contract, or out the window. For years, the media treated that quote as a hilarious flex of executive hustle and relentless business instinct. The industry celebrated it. They said, Look at Jay-Z, he knew talent when he saw it, he didn't want any other label to steal her. But Jaguar Wright is asking the world to stop laughing and actually analyze those words through a critical lens. If a 35-year-old powerful corporate mogul locks a teenage girl in a high-rise office at 3 in the morning, deprives her of sleep, refuses to let her leave until she signs away her career, and makes dark jokes about a 29th floor window, is that hustle? Or is that a terrifying display of corporate coercion? Jaguar Wright alleges that this 3 a.m. meeting was not an audition at all. It was an initiation. It was the exact moment Rihanna's independence was stripped away, setting off a chain reaction that would echo through her personal life, her relationships, and the darkest secrets of the hip-hop industry for the next 2 decades. Now let's pull back the curtain on the major conflict. The terrifying first twist that Jaguar Wright just dropped during an explosive broadcast that sent shockwaves through the music industry. According to Wright, the 3 a.m. contract signing was just phase 1. What happened in the immediate aftermath of that contract signing is where the story turns pitch black. Jaguar Wright claims that within 48 hours of signing that deal, Rihanna's entire support network was systematically dismantled. The initial handlers and original team who brought her from Barbados, the people who actually cared about her well-being, were allegedly pushed out of the frame. They were replaced by a new, highly specialized team of industry handlers assigned directly by the top executives. Rihanna was immediately relocated across the country to Los Angeles. She was isolated in Hollywood mansions and rapidly exposed to adult industry environments while she was still only 15 and 16 years old. Wright alleges that while the public thought Rihanna was safely living the life of a rising pop princess, she was actually being paraded around elite VIP clubs like the Rainbow Room, surrounded by older industry figures, wealth, and substance-fueled parties. Look at this leaked insider text message allegedly sent from a former label assistant back in 2005. "We are literally carrying this girl through the club right now. She's not even old enough to vote, but everyone is acting like she's 21. If the press finds out her real age, this whole launch blows up." Think about the panic behind those words. According to Jaguar Wright, whenever anyone within the label hierarchy tried to speak up or question why a minor was being kept out until sunrise in high-risk adult environments, those individuals were swiftly terminated, blacklisted, or intimidated into total silence. And here is where the first major twist drops. A twist so sinister it completely recontextualizes one of the biggest pop culture scandals of the 2000s. Jaguar Wright alleges that Jay-Z's inner circle didn't just groom Rihanna for stardom. They allegedly used rumors of a romantic entanglement between Jay-Z and Rihanna as a calculated distraction tool. Remember back in 2005 when rumors flooded the tabloids claiming Jay-Z was secretly cheating on Beyoncé with his 17-year-old protégé, Rihanna? The media went wild. It created massive publicity for Rihanna's debut single, Ponder Replay. But years later, a publicist named Jonathan Hay came forward and claimed he made the entire rumor up just to give the song a boost. He issued a public apology, and the media quickly brushed it under the rug. But Jaguar Wright claims that apology was forced. She alleges that Jonathan Hay was used as a scapegoat after the rumors threatened to expose a real, deeply uncomfortable dynamic within the label. According to Wright, Hay was promised lucrative production deals and executive positions at streaming platforms in exchange for taking the fall. And when Hay allegedly threatened to tell the true story of what he witnessed behind closed doors regarding Rihanna's treatment, Wright drops a horrifying bombshell. Hay's home was violently targeted. He and his young daughter were allegedly bound with duct tape during a terrifying home invasion designed to send one clear message: keep your mouth shut about Rock Nation. If these claims are true, we are not looking at a music label. We are looking at an untouchable corporate syndicate that uses fear, violence, and media manipulation to protect its bottom line. But if you think that was shocking, wait until you hear how this exact same machine was turned against Chris Brown. Welcome to the escalation. This is where the story takes a turn so dark, so unbelievable, that social media is currently dividing into complete chaos. To understand how deep this web goes, Jaguar Wright insists we must look at the infamous night of February 2009, the night that changed Chris Brown and Rihanna's lives forever. For 15 years, the world saw a clear-cut case of domestic violence. The world saw the horrifying police mugshot, the canceled appearances, and the immediate destruction of Chris Brown's global empire. Chris Brown was branded an irredeemable monster, and Rihanna was cemented as the global symbol of tragic victimhood. At Pop Culture Truths, Jaguar Wright just dropped the biggest bombshell of 2026. If Rock Nation manipulated the 2009 Chris Brown narrative, everything we knew about pop music is a lie. Rihanna J's Jaguar Wright. At Music Industry Exposed. Wait, so you're telling me Chris Brown was set up by label executives to protect a bigger secret? Mind blown. We need receipts now. At RiriNavy_official. Stop spreading these disgusting fake conspiracy theories. Rihanna survived real abuse and y'all are trying to paint her management as evil masterminds? Unbelievable. Jaguar Wright is not excusing physical violence. Let's make that crystal clear. But what Wright is exposing is what happened behind the scenes in the hours immediately after that fight took place. According to Wright, when the altercation happened inside that vehicle prior to the Grammys, Rihanna wasn't just a traumatized young woman. She was a multi-hundred-million-dollar asset belonging to a massive corporate machine. And that corporate machine allegedly saw an opportunity to accomplish two massive goals at once: total narrative control over Rihanna and the complete elimination of Chris Brown. Why Chris Brown? Because according to industry insiders, Chris Brown was becoming too powerful, too independent, and was allegedly encouraging Rihanna to cut ties with her executive handlers. Brown was threatening to pull Rihanna away from the exact network that had controlled her since she was 15 years old at that 3 a.m. meeting. Wright alleges that Roc Nation's PR machine immediately stepped in to engineer the highest-stakes media campaign in entertainment history. They didn't just let the news leak naturally. They allegedly coordinated with top-tier network executives to secure the iconic 2009 ABC News interview with Diane Sawyer. Watch that interview closely through Jaguar Wright's perspective. Every word, every tear, every pause was meticulously analyzed. Wright claims that while Rihanna's pain was authentic, her management team transformed her raw trauma into a weaponized PR narrative. They crafted an image that framed Chris Brown not just as a man who made a terrible, violent mistake, but as a fatal threat to society, effectively blacklisting him from radio stations, corporate sponsors, and award shows for a decade. While the entire world was fixated on Chris Brown, nobody was looking at the executives sitting in the shadows. Nobody was asking why a 15-year-old girl was kept in an office until 3 a.m. Nobody was asking where the label's duty of care was when she was a minor. The Chris Brown scandal became the ultimate smoke bomb, a high-profile tragedy that consumed the public's attention, while the executives quietly solidified their absolute control over Rihanna's career, her finances, and her future. And here is the most chilling detail Wright revealed. Rihanna allegedly realized how the system worked. She realized that in order to survive inside this brutal machine, she could no longer just be the victim. She had to become a player. The internet is in absolute flames right now. Jaguar Wright's live stream has racked up millions of views across TikTok, YouTube, and X, causing massive fan wars and sending shockwaves through corporate boardrooms. The entertainment industry is fracturing right down the middle, and nobody knows who to trust anymore. On one side, you have millions of fans who are waking up to the sinister reality of corporate Hollywood. Hashtags like 3 a.m. meeting, expose Roc Nation, and Jaguar Wright told the truth are trending worldwide. Commentators, independent journalists, and former label employees are coming out of the woodwork, adding their own terrifying stories to the mix. Variety. Roc Nation facing intense public scrutiny following viral Jaguar Wright allegations. TMZ. Jay-Z's legal team allegedly preparing massive cease and desist order against whistleblowers. Hollywood Reporter. Insiders claim major network cancels special coverage on Rihanna's early career following executive pressure. Look at these fake news reports circulating online. The backlash is so intense that top executives are reportedly holding emergency crisis meetings. Famous industry commentator Jonathan Hay stepped forward once again, corroborating key parts of Jaguar Wright's claims. Hay publicly stated, "The things Jaguar is saying, people think she's crazy because she's angry, but the timeline doesn't lie. Victims are reaching out to us every single day sending photos, non-disclosure agreements, and court documents they were forced to sign. The public only sees the red carpets. They have no idea what happens on the 29th floor." Even major celebrities are dropping subtle, cryptic reactions on social media. Kanye West posted a black screen on his Instagram story with a single line, "The 29th floor. They've been locking us in since 2004. Time to blow the door off. Meanwhile, Meek Mill tweeted and instantly deleted. Some of y'all favorite bosses ain't bosses. They handlers. Free the artists. The division is wild. Die-hard Rihanna fans, the Navy, are fiercely defending their queen, arguing that Jaguar Wright is just a clout chaser trying to dismantle the legacy of a self-made black female billionaire. They point out that Rihanna has built an empire on her own terms, launched successful brands, and proven herself to be one of the smartest business minds in history. Rihanna is a grown woman, a mother, and a mogul. One fan wrote in a viral post, "To say she was conditioned or controlled minimizes her intelligence and her incredible hustle." Jaguar Wright is bitter that her own music career failed, so she attacks successful black icons. But critics counter with a far more disturbing question. Can both things be true? Can someone start as an innocent victim of a predatory system and eventually grow to become one of its chief commanders? Think about the Super Bowl performance. Jaguar Wright pointed out a terrifying moment during Rihanna's massive halftime show. As millions watched, Rihanna raised her hands to throw up the iconic Rock a Fella Diamond sign. But Wright claims if you look closely at her body language, she hesitated. She looked up toward Jay-Z's private executive box before raising her hands. Was that a gesture of respect toward her mentor? Or was it a silent, conditioned acknowledgement to the man who locked her in an office at 3 a.m. 15 years prior? The debate is tearing the music community apart, but nothing, and I mean nothing, prepares you for the final revelation Jaguar Wright dropped just moments ago. This is it. The final twist that changes the narrative entirely. If you thought this story was just about Rihanna, Jay-Z, and a missing contract, prepare yourself, because Jaguar Wright claims that Rihanna was merely one piece of a far larger, far more sinister cycle that stretches back decades, involving Aaliyah, Beyoncé, and a mysterious woman named Kathy White. Wright dropped an explosive claim regarding Jay-Z's history with young female talent. She alleged that before Rihanna, there was Aaliyah. Wright claims that Jay-Z pursued Aaliyah when she was still underaged, fresh off her tragic marriage to R. Kelly. But Aaliyah allegedly rejected his advances. Wright makes the shocking and proven claim that Jay-Z never forgot that rejection, and that when Beyoncé came into the picture as a young teenager from Destiny's Child, the exact same system of corporate isolation and control was applied to her. Eerie, dark graphics showing timeline of Aaliyah, Beyoncé, Rihanna. And then came the mention of Kathy White. Who is Kathy White? According to industry rumors resurfaced by Wright and Hay, Kathy White was allegedly a longtime secret mistress connected to Jay-Z back in 2011, around the exact time Beyoncé announced her pregnancy with Blue Ivy at the MTV VMAs. Shortly after allegedly giving birth to a child, Kathy White died suddenly in her apartment from a reported brain aneurysm. For years, dark corners of the internet speculated about Kathy White's death, pointing to strange interview clips of Beyoncé where her pregnancy belly appeared to fold, suggesting a surrogate was used. Fans even pointed to lyrics from Beyoncé's latest album, Cowboy Carter, specifically the track Daughter, where she sings about a bloody confrontation on a floor. Now let's be clear. There is zero legal proof connecting Jay-Z or Beyoncé to Kathy White's death. But Jaguar Wright claims the story of Kathy White is brought up inside elite circles for one specific reason: to serve as a quiet, terrifying reminder of what happens to people who threaten the stability of the empire. Wright alleges that Rihanna watched all of this unfold. She saw what happened to Aaliyah. She saw what happened to Solange after that infamous elevator fight when Solange tried to protect Beyoncé. She saw how Kathy White's memory was erased. She saw how Chris Brown was dismantled in less than 24 hours. Rihanna learned the ultimate rule of the 29th floor. You either play your part in protecting the machine, or the machine will destroy you. Glitch effect, flashing text. The story is not over. And just when you think the drama couldn't possibly escalate further, Jaguar Wright left her audience with a chilling final warning. She revealed that a massive vault of unreleased audio recordings, internal Roc Nation emails from 2005, and sealed court depositions are scheduled to be leaked online by an anonymous group of industry whistleblowers. These leaked files reportedly contain the original unedited 3 a.m. contracts signed by Rihanna, along with secret financial ledgers proving where millions of dollars were funneled to suppress media stories. Jaguar Wright looked directly into the camera and said, "You think you know how deep this ocean goes? You haven't even dipped your toes in the water. Part 2 is coming, And when those audio files drop, the empire falls. Dramatic outro screen with interactive polls and social media graphics. We are standing on the edge of the biggest scandal in entertainment history. The secrets of the 29th floor are finally spilling out into the light, and the world will never look at pop royalty the same way again. Now I want to hand the mic over to you, the fam. What do you truly believe? Was that 3 a.m. meeting with Jay-Z just an intense business deal that created a global superstar? Or was it the start of a dark, coercive system of control? Do you think Jaguar Wright is telling the unfiltered truth? Or is this all an exaggerated conspiracy theory designed to tear down Black excellence? And what really happened behind the scenes with Chris Brown back in 2009? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below right now. I am reading every single response, and the debate in the comments is going to be wild. If you want to stay ahead of the curve and get instant updates the second those leaked 3 a.m. audio files drop, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and turn on all notifications. You do not want to miss our emergency part 2 follow-up episode coming out tomorrow, where we break down the secret financial documents and the celebrity responses pouring in. Thank you for watching. Keep your eyes open, question everything, and until next time, fam, stay safe out there.